Hello, hello, hello. Oh, my lights are on? Okay. You get tired Motzi tonight. Congratulations, you win. Free tired Motzi with every purchase. Had a long work day. Nothing bad, just long. And I went to go stream. And I said, wow, I am tired. So we'll see how long I last tonight. Hopefully, I will continue the trend of getting something done. Tonight, I will continue on my journey with cameras. I didn't really actually finish up what I did. Hello, tired. I'm Etherblood. Yeah. Joke. I do that to my kids all the time. Hilarious. Dad, I'm hungry. Hi, hungry. I'm Dad. No, I'm really hungry. Hi, really hungry. I'm Dad. Never gets old. Classic jokes. Where are we with this camera here? What are we doing? That maybe? How's it going, Ether? And Pixel. Tonight. I'm gonna nudge my camera, if you know what I mean. I kind of wonder if I should just do it using the keyboard first, instead of whipping out the controller. Hey, Mendoza. How's tricks? Tricks are for kids. Well, time to make some spaghetti. Wait, what? Some food? Kids are supposed to be sleeping now. Probably not actually sleeping. So, when we last saw our hero, Motzi, doing code, he was doing stuff with code. And now he's not doing stuff. I don't need any of this stuff. Why do I see here? So tonight, I'm going to see if I can make the camera nudge. And I got to figure out where I'm going to do this. And I think that I should totally cheat. That's what I'm going to do. I think the camera nudge system I'm going to do is going to be a mono behavior. I'm not even going to like, well, should I? I don't know. I could put it in the game engine. Game engine. It shouldn't be hard, right? Nudging the camera, piece of cake. We know how to make the camera stop moving, so we can nudge the camera. Just give it a little, you know what I'm talking about. That little, exactly what it looks like too. Game loaded. Where does this get? Okay, that's not what I want. Not what I want. I want to figure out when I know that we're on a map. And I know there's a way to know it. I don't know if it really matters. But you know what? I'm not going to mess with that. The real question is, do I make the camera nudger something that I attach to an existing mono behavior, or do I make a new mono behavior? That's the question. I think what I do is make a mono behavior. It's gonna be so stupid. Simple. Oh, it's gonna be so amazing, y'all. This is going to be fantastic. I got really excited all of a sudden. Okay. So, where do I want to put this, though? Is it a mechanic? No. It's a util? No. I mean, it's kind of controls. So I guess I could do it in controls. Y'all, I'm excited. And I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. We're gonna make a camera nudge controller because you know what? We're in YOLO Town now, friends. Not Mochi Town, YOLO Town. You know, when I first started streaming, I really liked the idea that we could have this little town that we build together as a community. And that's all I'm gonna say. I really liked the idea. Nothing happened from it, but I really liked the idea. So, how do we nudge our lives? How do we do a nudge? Let me think about this. So I'm gonna build, I think. So a camera nudging system would need a way to essentially react to events. Okay, you know how we do it for reals? Oh man, watch this. Watch Mati cop out, because this is how Mati rolls. I like to set up camp. I'm just gonna totally cheapen this. You don't need to see me code, right? You just need to see me promptly. Camera nudge controller behavior that responds to directional specific controls. In this case, right stick and or specified. At the moment, only worry about setting up a system that can specify. It's going to be a vector, but we don't. Oh no, actually specify vector direction nudge. I like to use events. Triggers for this. Oop. Rather than triggering an update loop, I should just do voice to text. I should make it so like I could just start talking at this and tell it, and it'll just, instead of me typing it, then I'll be like really programming with my face. Hard coding instead of having an update loop. Cam 2D directional inputs or inputs will specify X and Z coordinates. And how would you do camera stick? You'd have to have like the buttons on the camera and button or will be used for zoom out. Okay. Please provide the code that will respond to the inputs, assuming boom. Go to this. Sure, I can help you. Man, ChatGPT is always so pleasant. Never argues, never. Well, it passive aggressively doesn't help you, but sometimes. Zoom level. Okay. What does it say? Set nudge direction. Set zoom level. But how is that going to work with inputs? I don't know how that would work with inputs. So let's go find out. We'll put the code in here. And we will build. Because it needs to be... I mean, I guess I could just detect directional input. But I'm trying to be event-driven because Tunic told me that's the only way to code. And I'm not allowed to code any other way. And I'm allowed to name Tunic because Tunic is not the developer that shall not be named on my channel. But, yeah, Tunic was very adamant. And I was told if I didn't follow those instructions, I would be a bad programmer. And I couldn't handle it. So we're going to do a empty. Okay. And then we'll add the camera nudge controller here. And then how do we wait? But this is just made in. I don't want them to be Unity events. On nudge direction changed. So how would we know if a nudge direction changed? I'd have to be able to specify it with actual events. So let me go see what event option. Input. I think this is something I made. Input event trigger. Let me see what I have for my options. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go make a new set of options. I'm going to make new controls because I have to do it for the input system anyway. We're going to go into game input. We have user and UI. And we're going to make another one called Mendoza's Cool. I mean, we're going to call it we're just going to call it game controls. This is what I'm going to use for the actual visual input system too, is to show the keys and controls on the screen, so that it's not tied into the stupid garbage of the old system. Because right now it's like up, down, left, right. I don't want that. I want a move. I want movement, right? So in this case, we'll do keyboard and mouse. That means we're going to do the keyboard and... Okay, how do we do this? We want to call it move, right? Yeah. So actually, I don't want move. I want... I am cool indeed. Didn't you tell your wife the other day that I was an in-charge person? Yes. Aren't you an in-charge person? You're in charge of something, right? At the very least, you're in charge of yourself. So... what I kind of want to do is figure out what keys we're going to press. At the moment, I honestly don't know which keys would make sense. So I'm gonna just push some keys. Actually, I need to do this by location of key. Yeah. Is that by location? By location. Okay. In charge people, they got to do things. Oh, how would I do add a binding with two modifiers? Positive and negative binding. Isn't there a way to do like directional control? A 1D axis. The best way to set up directional movement. Hey, wifey. I should look into how this should go. I want to look at how the. We'll save this for now because it doesn't matter. Hey, Composy. Never mind. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that there's an in-charge person on my chat right now. An in-charge person. Mm-hmm. Mendoza is an in-charge person at their job. They're in charge. Thing. Yeah. Because Mendoza just said, "I'm cool indeed. Didn't you tell your wife the other day that I was an in-charge person?" So I'm just going to make that thing now. Are you an in-charge person?
Mendoza. I'm in charge of 6 to 8 year olds.
You're in charge of 68-year-olds?
No.
Wow. They're so
Elementary
old.
kids. I'm in charge of them, and that's all I get.
68-year-olds.
I'm so glad that you're an in-charge person. Don't ever trust me.
Little nose. Look at the little nose. Nose and eyeballs.
A mouth.
Oh, that works as well. Okay. Thanks. Composing. Cool. That's the kind of thing you say when it's not actually cool. You just say, cool. Here it is, input icon. I'm going to go to resources, maybe? No. Okay. No. Examples? Yes. Okay. So how did they do move? They did move with WASD. Excuse me. Arrows, test arrows. Okay. Left stick, right. So their move is everything. I don't know if I want that. Let me go look at what they have for their keyboard and mouse. So what they did was a 2D vector. Okay. Digital normative. So I want to just steal this. First thing I always do when I'm working on things is I find what someone else did and see if I can steal it. One of these days, I'm going to make you sleep in the doghouse. Sounds like a rough time. Am I right? Paste. Okay. It's not going to be WASD. It's going to be Uilna. If you do camera nudges, where would you want it on a keyboard? Where would a person want to put a camera nudging system? It feels like you would have the opposite of WASD. Maybe. I guess I'll do these ones. It's either you and oh wait, what are the keys? I don't even know what the keys are. Something. Could be OKLN or IJKL. Maybe it's IJKL. That's probably what it is, right? So IJKL. WASD, WASD, IJK, Q and E. No, because the camera nudge is all directions, so it has to go in all directions. I just shouldn't overthink it right now. The real key is don't overthink. We got to remember, don't overthink. That's the rule tonight. Especially because brain's not thinking very well. Hi, Killboy. I don't think I said hi. Can't remember if Killboy is also an in charge person. Wait for the asset to update. I'm a what? I asked if you were an in charge person. Means that you have people that you manage. What do you call an indecisive bee? A maybe. What do you call a bee by the ocean where ships come in? Baby. What do you call a bee that likes to sleep? A lay bee. Not by title, anyway. I didn't finish what I was going to say there because it's funny. If we take... Why is this not working? Input action. Yeah, I'm trying to... But why can't I... Input event trigger. Oh, here. Game input. Game controls. Nudge. So will nudge give me a... It gives me a vector 2, not a vector 3. So I need my controls to take a vector 2. Let's call it a vector 2. Don't care about zoom yet. Nudge direction. Vector 2. And then we're not going to worry about this crap at all. Let's just see if this works. So we'll do show and inspector. I think it'll default to 0. And then we're going to reload this. Actually, I think the event would pass event data. So I need to find the control for this. I think I call it game control. Game controls is not here. Game controls. A lot of fishing controls, but that's not what I was looking for. Is it game input? Yeah, but what is it called? Where do we find this? Game input. I guess it's just game input. Okay. So then where would it? Okay, so it's game input dot user actions. Okay, that makes sense. Then this is part of game input. Okay, good. So then I'll go back to here and say for now, let's keep this simple. I added game controls. Yes, I want to trigger action using the input action of that. Player input action. What did I call it? Called. It's called input event trigger. Okay. Because this can only see the things that I have open. Trigger. This will trigger the event on the nudge controller. Please adjust. I do take charge when others won't. We don't have enough team members not to. Things gotta get done. Oh, yeah. That's how I started becoming in charge of things. Before the military, I would always get frustrated because I just felt like people didn't always know what to do. And I didn't want to be in charge though. Like I always avoided being in charge. Always. I would prefer someone else to get their stuff together and just be in charge. But after years of realizing that people won't do that, I just gave up. And I just decided, you know what? If someone else isn't going to do it, I guess I'm going to do it. And then if I'm going to do it, I want to make sure that I get to be in charge so I don't have to deal with someone else's BS. And that's the whole journey of me getting in charge. It was just me not wanting to deal with incompetence. I'm not the best in charge person, but I'm okay at it. I'm no Mendoza. Why is my camera all goofy? Okay, what does it say? I don't. Does it take? Oh, it is callback content. That's what. Yes, I wanted to. I couldn't remember what the input action. Okay. I don't want a vector 3 though. Why is it passing in a vector? Why is it even doing that? Like, why is it? It doesn't. I guess it doesn't understand that I changed the code. Weirdo. I'm still in the process of relearning developers. Had a good chat with one of my devs today. You know, there's a time when you're in charge of things. Like sometimes I forget that I'm actually quite intimidating to people that I manage. And I think it's because despite my quote unquote sense of humor, I'm also very serious when I need to be serious. So people take my seriousness really, really seriously. And don't get me wrong, I'm very serious when it's time to be serious. So, you know, I will tell people like it is because that's how I roll. And I can now. I'm like, upon reflection, I realize how intimidating that could be. I did not serve, but I work as a military contractor. I worked as a military contractor in the beginning of my career. Deep respect. I know it sounds cheesy, but thank you for your service. You're welcome. Back when I joined, I was thinking someday I will be a streamer, and this person Mendoza is going to come. No, I'm just kidding. You're welcome. I'm the antithesis of the ideal military person. Not to say that people in the military can't have liberal ideals or care about following rules, but I certainly was not that. I didn't even have a political ethos when I was in high school, but I wasn't military. I was skinny. I'm still skinny, but I'm not really that skinny anymore, but I was very skinny, like painfully skinny, really nerdy. I only really cared about video games. I didn't do sports. I wasn't cool. I couldn't run. I couldn't run. I remember when I decided to join the Marine Corps, I was like, well, I better get in shape. I had 2 weeks. I was like, I better get in shape in 2 weeks. And I started trying to do a run around a lake, a 2-mile run around a lake. I couldn't freaking get more than 50 yards, maybe at most, jogging before I had to stop and walk. Like, my goal was to be able to run around a 2-mile lake. It was bad. It was bad. I can't believe I survived boot camp. And it was always like, I think for the first 2 years of my military experience, it always felt like I was on the verge of failure. Always. Like I was constantly having to fight that inner demon that says, just give up. Constantly. It was crazy. And I guess the thing was, since I decided to do this, since I decided to do something completely opposite of my own normal inclinations, which was not to work out, not to eat healthy, just play video games. Even though I was really skinny, I did not eat healthy. I told myself that the only way I would ever give up on anything is if I literally like passed out and I couldn't survive it. Like the only way I would ever completely give up is if I've pushed myself beyond the limit and I couldn't go any further. And somehow I just never hit that limit. I mean, I got really close a number of times, but I never actually surpassed the limit. I think that the interesting part about that is it sort of creates, like after the military, it sort of created the sense in me that like, well, frick, if I could do that, then anything else is doable, right? No matter how hard it is, no matter how sucky something gets. And so that's where I started looking at things that were painful and sucky as the opportunity for growth, as opposed to, a reason to give up. But I'm also not a military person. Because I also found out that in the Marines, especially enlisted people, they don't give a flip about rules. If you care about rules in the Marine Corps, or maybe just the military, you are what they call a lifer. And you are to be ridiculed. People who follow the rules are to be ridiculed as much as humanly possible. And it's kind of pathetic when you really think about it, the fact that following the rules is considered bad. Well, I guess I can't really... This action may not trigger continuously. Killboy was a lifer, right? Not all lifers actually follow the rules either, Killboy. Did you get out a warrant officer or something? I can't remember. I thought you got out something fancy enough. But I think that was the most disaffecting thing, is that you didn't get respect in the military necessarily by doing your job. Staff sergeant, okay. And I didn't like that, because I didn't kiss up to the officers. I try to avoid officers in leadership. I just tried to do my job really well. And because I was good at things I did, officers in leadership would highlight me. And then the people who were thinking they were better than me would... I'm not saying that I was better than them, but they thought they were better than me. So if I performed better than them, they would need to bring me down. And I hated that. I just didn't like it. It's just not... And these people who claim to follow the Marine Corps ethos and then they go out and drink and get in fights, that's not the ethos. That's not the honor, courage, commitment that they hammer into your head. Yeah, well, if you do that, you're a lifer. I said, what the freaking point is it then? Why are we doing... Sorry, I'm just getting mad for some weird reason. What is all that honor, courage, commitment just BS? Is that what it is? Because I did it thinking that going into the Marine Corps and following these expectations was what you were supposed to do. Then you get in there. It's like you have all these, well, they have a word for it, but I'm not going to say the word. And it's just like, it was so frustrating. I'm going to just put this in the update method because I don't know if I can make the event work how I want it to. And I want to get a continuous read on the value. So I'm just going to put an update. So instead, I'm going to do, I'm a B. So, I wonder if I had to update the, doesn't matter. What is it called here? Mr. Mechamoose. Hey, we had a stream, baby. Congratulations. What should we name it? Thank you for the 9 months, baby. This is the May. Oh my god. It's already mid-May. Oh my. 9 months of subs, your support means a lot. Guess what? Thank you. Thank you for your service too, Killboy. Oh, I see. What am I supposed to guess, Killboy? That's what? Hey, Mr. What'd you make? Show me. Show me the money. Shot. I changed my mind. Let's use the update method to check for nudge input and update vector. What thingy did you make? Sorry, Mr. McMoose. I was ranting about the military. I think rules are important, and I liked following rules, but you're not supposed to do that if you are a true military person. Unless you're like the all-American military person and you look the part and then you follow the rules and everyone loves you. That's sort of how it works. Let's see. So what we'll do is we'll say YouTube. The most important rule to follow is there are no rules. Trying to buy time until I become HD, but meh. All right. Your face is HD, Killboy. Okay, I'm going to mute the. We like the party. Wait, this is your game? What did you use for this? This is Unity? You're doing Unity and you made a game? Like the style that everyone loves right now? Like Wandering Sword? I was 20. You were 20 years ago? What were you 20 years ago? A lifer? So did you build all this stuff on your own? Or did you use any existing plugins? Or assets? Is this a online game too? This looks really nice. I don't even know what are some supersized lies? What is this? There's me. You tell, like, I don't know where this random content comes from. I do watch honest trailers and everything wrong with stuff. Look at those spicy decks. I don't know what that is either. You built it from scratch. That's amazing. That's really impressive. I should have just built this game from scratch. Maybe my life would have been much harder. If I can even get the game input. Actually, I could just get the game input directly. I was just, because I know the controller setup gets wired in a certain spot, I'm going to try to use this. Current game input. Let's see if this works. Let's see what I break. Spicy decks. Got him. Look at those spicy decks. I think had the Marine Corps been true to the ethos it espoused, I think it would have been a lifer. I think that if it was really about living up to the expectation that is set, that everyone agreed with that, generally speaking, it would have been an amazing experience. But it was very disillusioning to be one of the few people who truly cared about all the rules. And there was just like there's bullies just like everywhere else. And it was like a bunch of guys, because we're in the infantry. There was like a bunch of bullies and all these like stated rules, but no one actually followed them. And if you follow the rules, you were considered, you know, nerdy. Like, okay, come on. What am I doing? Getting errors? No. So nothing is happening with nudge direction. Let me see if it's actually changing anything. So debug. And here. Oh, why does it keep... I don't care about this crap. All right, let's see what this does. Yeah, I'm impressed. Did you use C# code or did you use Bolt? I think that's amazing. Unfortunately, to do what I'm trying to show camera nudging, but to do it, I kind of need the input to work. I suppose I could have done it slightly differently, but the nudging system is going to be something that kind of needs to be available all the time. Most of the time. Okay, so did it rebound? I mean, it should either be 0 or -1 or 1, right? Like that's what it should end up being. Oops, okay, so we are getting a nudge direction. No, we're not. Nothing is happening. So then it's not. So I think I wonder if it's because I have to. Do I have to enable that? Maybe I have to enable the control. C#. Thank you, Ryder. Killboy, that is honestly really awesome. I'm glad that you are giving it a go. I know you've avoided it. So I'm glad to hear that you've given it a shot. Let me see here. I think I might have to do something to like bootstrap the controller. That's a very interesting point of view. I've never heard anyone talk about the military that way. Most of my coworkers were in the Army, though, not Marine Corps. Do you think it was maybe not the Marine Corps' fault, but rather those bully type guys? I mean, there's it. I don't know how to answer your question. There's so far you can go in the world with that question, just like how the world works and how people are, and like, yeah, everybody ruins it for us, right? It's like, it's how society is. It's this idea that, like, I don't care what religion it is. Most religions have some kind of ideal, right? You're trying to live up to something that's beyond yourself as a human. And whether you're religious or not, even if you're not religious, like, people who are atheists actually tend to have ideals too, golden rules that you try to espouse. People who don't live up to those rules, there's various reasons why. Some people literally don't believe in any of that stuff and they think the opposite, right? Although I would argue that I believe most people, even those that you might term as evil, have some belief or ethos that they're following as to why they do what they do. And whether it's the military or not, there is this thing in society where we set up structures that we say we're supposed to follow for whatever reason. We make a covenant with ourselves, follow these rules, and then people come in and they don't have the capability. Military doesn't necessarily get, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Am I going to say what I'm going to say? I'm going to say it differently. The military doesn't usually get people who are from affluent families, well off, or have plenty of options. Because the military offers a space for people who may not have options or who think that, or they might genuinely like it, right? And so those are likely to be the same people who don't get the opportunity to grow up with the same values. Like our kids are growing up much better than I did. Our kids have a nice house to live in. They have 2 parents that are married. They're going to a nice school. And it's very unlikely any of them would join the Marine Corps. Sure, some of those people do, but that's like a smaller percentage, right? I had a very different experience from Machi. He spent time around the type of people he spent some time around all the time. And I'm sure I would have had the similar experience as him around those people. Right. Well, and then there's the echelons of the military. When I conceived of military, I always thought of what you see in the movies, which is basically everyone is fighting. But that's a fraction of percentage of people in the military. And the people who are likely to go in infantry, and I don't have a study. I'm not saying I'm an expert on this. I'm just going to tell you my intuition on this is there are a lot of people who actually score high on their ASVAB and go into the infantry. Vimlark, 45 makes me middle-aged, but it's only months. Thank you for the resub at 45 months. It's been so long. How are you? I was just talking about the military, but I would say that from my experience, having been in infantry, the type of people who would go into the infantry are going to have a leaning towards things that have more aggression or more of this pride in proving yourself, or there's so many different factors that it's going to be hard for them to live up to the ethos, even though by the definition they should be the ones that do live up to the ethos more. But they don't, they just don't. Mark, 45 months. What are you, president? No, I'm just kidding. Holy smokes. Thank you for the resub. Us. I've been doing all right. I'm doing little incremental things now because I'm primarily working on story in the game, so I'm not working on any big things. I was annoying our developer that's doing some of our work on the fishing game because I can tell that our save system is not, the UI is not right yet. I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. And now I'm trying to work on camera nudges. Right now I'm just trying to get the stupid thing to do things. So do I even need to put this in here? I probably should, right? I think that'll work because now it's sort of centrally managed. I guess I could refer to it too. Kind of weird naming, but nice story. Nice story is the fun part, right? I love doing story. I love it. Well, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to spoil it. But to me, the story is the easy. Like writing the story is the easy part. The cinematic stuff, the stuff that happens around it, can get a little bogged down. Like, okay, now the character's going to move here, and that's. But like literally writing it is fun. I love doing the writing part. It's not too hard not to share, but yeah, I mean, a lot of it doesn't make sense in context. The thing that I like about the written story process is that I have all the vision of where the story is going, but as I flesh out any given area, the characters and the situation kind of it locks in, and a lot of pieces start fitting together and they come alive. Like when I was working on the story for like Pyra's backstory and the things in the sequence of events, I always knew what the sequence of events would be, but I didn't know how it would come together. And then the more I worked on it, the more sort of like certain things happen. And I do add a little scope, which annoys Jacob, but the scope fleshes out the character better. And it creates a solid tie between what the character was as a child or as a teenager in Pyra's case to what they are as an adult. So I really like that whole sort of idea and the experience creation. It's really hard in our case because our story is driven by user choice. So even in Pyra's backstory, which is like a memory, originally I was going to make it completely not choice driven. Then I realized that breaks the model of the game, so I have to make choices. And so I like doing it, but it's just a lot more content, right? Oops. Anyway, how are things going on your end there, Vimlar? Are you hanging in there? I saw you've been streaming more. I've been more lurking than anything. My days have been really busy because I now am back to managing a technology group. What did it say before? What was the... Current game inputs. Oh, I see. Hold on. Is that what it is? Wondered what was going on there. Okay. That should work. I hope this works. Obviously, it's a highly distracted night because I'm not really working with them. Started playing with Godot, which is pretty cool. So you're writing code? You're becoming a developer? Trying to keep things going, hanging in there? Yeah. Oh, I didn't even read all your words. Sorry. The web of possibilities? Yes. So writing story for Alterium Shift is exciting, but also not really daunting. Just it's a lot. Like, listen, I have a problem, and it's that I really like writing story, but because of that, I will do things that I probably shouldn't. So when I was I say this because I was recently working on some tweaks to it, but in Pyre's backstory, there's all these places that she can interact with. I'm like, okay, it's a backstory, so it's her memories. So there's no way she's gonna go talk to some random box, right? But wouldn't it be funny if you could talk to the box, and if you talk to it too much, it starts chiding you like, I'm pretty sure you weren't this inquisitive as a kid. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. We're gonna write that. That's how I write the story. I wasn't even writing code yet. Still copying from tutorials. Yeah, well, that's for all intents and purposes, that's writing code. These days, especially with ChatGPT, you know, it's like, oh crap, what is this? Object not sent to it. So I have to say if that and this. Can that not be null? What? It's saying that that is null though. Or is it because I see it creates a new game then, but how did we go from talking about... Oh, right, Vimlark showed up. I was ranting about the military at first. Vimlark came in like a wrecking ball and asked about story. Came in like a wrecking ball. I actually do like doing cinematic sequences too. I think they just take a little bit more work. And I honestly think Jacob's a little better than me at the sort of sequence of events. I think I try to do too much usually, and he's like, I can just write this, I can just make all this sequence happen. So what I'm trying to do is, as I write story, I'm just putting little place markers and say, okay, Jacob, go and write this code here. Go make this happen. I have a way of causing random discussions. Yeah, I mean, you know.
I got so good at using the keyboard with my hands, I practiced and became an expert with my feet. I'm a pro toe typer. Motzi.
Wah, 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 wah.
Enjoy your horn of shame.
Enjoy your horn of shame. New controller. I mean, this should be working. Why is it not working? Game controls action. Do I have to make a new version of it? Oh, I see. Wow, I look so different. Hey, you know, you've livened up a bit. You've embraced your they-theminess. You become more spunky. Remember when you used to have that, like, curvy mustache? Did you say you used to you got annoyed after a while about having it, just because of how people were about your mustache? I don't know why I just stuttered through that. I'm too lazy. Listen, I was too lazy to do a mustache without ever having one. I don't know how you even got to the point of allowing that to happen, because that's a lot of work. You got it in my mouth constantly. Oh, okay. Yeah, things getting in your mouth. Oof. Okay, so that loaded. All right, let's see what happens. Are we going to nudge? Will it blend? That is the question. Still not getting a nudge. We're no longer getting the bugs. That's good. Okay, so let's go see what's going on. It's a stupid thing to work on. But I guess it's not brain intensive. I can talk and kind of work on it. Oh, you know what the problem is? I'm a dumb. Gosh, sometimes I'm just not. My brain is no brainies sometimes. God, this is stupid. Okay. Well, of course it's not working. You're not using the right controls. So stupid. Can I just do this? Is that I? I don't even know which one is supposed to be I because of my keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the wrong one. So L. Okay. L is the same thing as I. Got it. No, that says it's you. I. Okay. Oh, who shall not be named has joined the chat. I got raided by the Burr. I'm not supposed to say Burr's name. Didn't want to have to keep it done all the time. I get it. I understand. Hey, Wallaber, don't tell Mendoza you're here. Mendoza says I'm not allowed to name you. Hey everybody, I'm Motzi. This is a game I'm working on, and I'm very, very slowly working my way today through some camera nudging capabilities. So, check it out and stuff. No, Wallaber, I talk about you too much on my stream, and Mendoza got fed up one day and was like, "Stop mentioning Wallaber, jeez." Pretty sure that's exactly how Mendoza sounded. And so I started making a joke of it. Like, okay, fine. He who shall not be named. Yeah, right. Blame it on. I'm pretty sure you were the one that was complaining about it. You're always mentioning Wallaber. Can't you have a stream without mentioning Wallaber? No, I can't even stop thinking about Wallaber. Well, I don't know. I mean, I had to treat it like it was bad. I'm not thinking bad thoughts about you, Wallaber. Not like overly good thoughts either. Like just friendly thoughts. You live in my mind rent-free. Rent-free. Monty's such a fanboy of yours. I know. I like Wallaber. Wallaber's nice. I don't ask him for help all the time anymore. I used to... Okay, stop talking now. I mean, I imagine you were going to raid and run anyway. I think you got to go, like, you pick a kid up or something, right? I'll wait for Wallaber to leave. Then I'll say all the nice things about him. I streamed too long, so I got to go. Have a good one. Yeah, you've been replaced by ChatGPT. I still use Wallaber for the really, really difficult problems, but I also just want an excuse to talk to him. So I got to, like, hit him up on the Discord and say, let's chat, which we've done a couple times. Hi, Lopar, by the way. Nice to see you. How did you get a shout out automatically? Oh, you said, I wish you would mention Wallaber at least 3x more. Wallaber's pretty cute. I like him. I still remember the only time I ever met him was at PAX West 2022, and we went to Hot Pot. Me, Jacob, and Wallaber's partner on Toyful Games. and it was fun. I have fond memories of those days. And I remember my first meetup with Wallaber was just me and him. We went and got like I don't know what kind of food it was. It was like these big bun-like thingies at a place. And it was still a time when like masks were a thing, and Wallaber wears masks everywhere, even outdoors. WallGPT. You could probably train a ChatGPT bot to sound like Wallaber. Wallaber didn't realize how much of an impact he'd have on my life. He's like, no, Mati wouldn't care that much about me. And then he finds out the reality is Mati can't stop thinking about him. And his dreams. Okay, this is working perfect. I'm kidding. Not in my dreams, I'm kidding. So your PAX date took me. So that's your PAX date. Took me on that date too. I learned about Hot Pot because of Wallaber. I wasn't cheating on Wallaber with Vimlark though, okay? Be clear. We were in an open relationship. Hey, it was also Jacob and your wife, Vimlark. I think it's acceptable. Are the controls working now? You know those people who have filters and they know when to stop? I know when I should stop, but I don't. We're a throuple. Oh, man. Every day, I think the reason Mendoza told me to stop mentioning Wallaber was because I always gush about Wallaber and how amazing he is. And he's like, can you just stop talking about Wallaber and how amazing he is? Can you just, exist? Can you just be happy for yourself, Matsi? Cannot. I sit here in like a couple hours and I might get a camera to move. Wallaber's like doing things with cars flipping and speeding around racetracks and parking garages. He's a pro. What am I doing? I'm going to... I need to set a value on a thing. So the value on the thing is going to be... I think in the maps. Yes. So then we're going to call it a camera nudge. We got this, baby. Oh, baby. It's going to be amazing. Gonna be amazing. Oh, yeah. Gonna be amazing. Okay, so we're going to do public vector to camera nudge. Oh, well, I said all those things. Are you sure you're not using me as a scape? I wish you'd spelled that wrong and then you call yourself a scapegoat. No, Mendoza, you're a in charge person. There's no way I could have said those things without you having said them. Because I only listen to in charge people. This is where I find out that I've secretly really pissed off Mendoza. And Mendoza will be like, Matzi, you can't do that. My whole life I've done that. I was like, I'm being funny. We're friends. And then I find out after the fact that I really made somebody mad. Like, really made somebody mad. It was like, oh, I thought we were being friends. But no, you don't like me anymore. Okay, so target. I can mess with target.y, right? Plus equals game nudge, camera nudge dot. Why did I say Y? It needs to be Z. Also X. Oh, can I just do like target? No, I need to do the XY. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see if this works. So all that work, all that talking about the military and barely doing anything and watching rebuild. And now we're going to see the magic happen. Oh, crap. I forgot one minorly important thing. It won't work if I don't set it somewhere. Okay, so if... instance, I liberally use static calls a lot. And I don't feel bad about it. I will tell my developers all day long never to do this. And then I'll get on stream and do exactly what I tell them not to do. I'm a hypocrite, and I love it. Actually, I've told them that I do this too. One of the developers is like, "Oh, so I hear you stream," and I said, "Yeah." Oh, so what? What is it? I was like, "I'm not telling you. You can go figure it out, but I'm not going to tell you what my stream handle is." They probably do watch me. There's like, someone went and was like, "Oh, look at the Motzi and his dumb stuff that he wrote." Well, I mean, I'm actually not too opposed to using static in certain contexts. Game development in Unity seems to encourage it more. And I've complained on this stream about the fact that Unity's oh, wow. I saw someone on YouTube. I didn't realize. I hope I didn't completely make them upset that I didn't respond. I don't normally get YouTube comments, so someone on YouTube said, "Wow, hi, pal, Pab Lundi." Can't really even read it very well. Sorry if you're not there anymore, and I completely missed your message. What was I saying? I was talking about something. The serialized object approach. I never liked the serialized object approach. I thought it was inefficient. Like, why can't we use databases? And then I finally researched it, and I realized, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Because an asset file can be shared more easily than a database file. And it can be version controlled more easily. And so, while it's really obnoxious that you have to serialize all these files, it does kind of make sense for something that you're using on a game engine system. But it is a different structure. You're making a web app. You wouldn't make a bunch of serialized files unless you're a MongoDB nut. Okay, let's see this work. Hey, look at that. It nudges. It doesn't do it right. Because this is down, and that's going left. And this is up, and that's not going anywhere. And that's right, and it's going down. Okay, so we're not getting the nudges in the other direction. Hey, listen. When you're working on problems like this, the first thing you do is get something working. That's the first thing you do. It doesn't matter if it works perfectly. All you're really trying to do is get something to work. What's interesting is that if I'm over here, I'm in like a place in which it locks the camera, because I have that camera locking thing now. I guess it will still move it. Weird. I might have to figure out a way to make it not move it when it's in the locks. Okay. I'm okay with this at the moment, because it just proves that it works. So then I need to figure out what the flip I'm gonna do here. So that I think the problem is the X and Y is reversed and the Z value is not working. Perfect. So I need to flip this, but it was the down and the right, and they were going the wrong directions. So why would that be? Why wouldn't it work So what I'm going to have to do when you're using keyboard input is I'm going to have to make it accelerate and decelerate. It's not going to be able to be a digital input. With the stick, it'll be easier because I can just get the velocity from it. But for this, I'm going to have to do it like set a direction and then lerp towards it or something. But again, I don't care yet. All I care about is that I can get the camera to nudge in the direction. I don't care exactly what it does. So it'll be a value between 0, 1, and -1. And that would mean... Here, map scene. Oh, it's because I was doing Y. Okay, that's also part of the problem. That's good. So... No, that's right. Camera Y. Camera nudge Y. Okay. So... If... what was... Why? How... Okay, go back to my camera input. Game control nudge. So up is I, and that's going to be digital normalized. What would digital be? Let's get digital. Digital. If I made it minus equals, would that work? It's weird that it would go up and down in one direction, but not the other. Why would it do that? Oh, I see. Because the locked positions are preventing the movement in those directions. What do unsuccessful movies and MongoDB fans have in common? What? No sequel. Hey, some movies are successful and they still don't have sequels. And they just realized they shouldn't make any more movies. That's okay too. My favorite cartoonist was found dead today. Details are sketchy. Science puns make me numb. Math puns make me number. So I found this tool called make.com, and it has become the giant hammer that I'm trying to use to solve all the problems at work. It's like Zapier, and it's a workflow tool, and it's interesting, and I'm realizing the more I'm working with it how much it like doesn't replace developers, it just changes the nature of the problem. It doesn't make the problem go away. The great part is it does all the integration with all different systems. So it's basically created one consistent way to navigate different systems. But in that way, it makes certain problems harder. Also really obnoxious. All right, let's see if this will work. Okay, so again, apparently the Y value This is going up and to the right. And then the up... Oh, I see what the problem is. I see what the problem is. I had my fingers in the wrong spot. Okay, so it's reversed. Well, the left and right is fine, but the up and down is reversed. That's easy enough to fix. Okay, so we have a nudge. Perfect. So then what we'll do, up and down would be the Z plane. So we'll just do minus equal. And then we would need to we need to lerp it, right? I'd like to modify the existing code that uses nudge so that if it lerps or moves towards we should add a camera nudge max value. Max correction. Make it so that when there's input, it's towards that direction. This is we don't want it to get. That looks cool. Thanks. I don't know what that looks cool means. Are you talking about make.com or something else? Oh, it's going back to my camera nudge controller. So I guess what I could do is I could just, instead of messing with this, I could just make the nudge value. That would make sense. Yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense. That's actually not a bad idea. So then I don't have to worry about controlling anything over there. It'll just set the value there. And I can do all the work in this class. Sometimes ChatGPT recommends things and I'm like, actually, yeah, good, do that way. do it better than me, please. I don't want to write bad code. One of my developers was like, oh, I use ChatGPT because I don't like recursion. I was like, well, you still have to read the code to understand it. It's great that you had ChatGPT solve your problem, but you don't want to, be beholden to it. You got to be able to read and modify it later. The nudge direction, don't really care about now. Target nudge direction. Lerp speed, maximum. Let's just see how the ChatGPT does on this. When I was younger, we used to see these BI tools like make.com and think, there's no way, that's not useful. Why would someone want to learn how to use a workflow tool? And I used to know people who would just like make crazy complicated workflows for everything. And now I've become that person. I've lived long enough to become the bad guy. Or the villain, not the bad guy. People want nudges? I'll give them nudges. Give a little nudge in the cheek. Here's a nudge. Yes, that was baby talk. No, I don't feel bad about it. There you go, look at that. That feels better. Is that enough? Is that going to appease people, or are they going to want it to move farther? They're probably going to want it to move farther. But, camera nudges, folks. This is what's important. Now, there's only one little problem happening here, where apparently the multiple inputs is causing some weirdness. I don't know if it's because of the way, like, the controls working or something. It's, like, weird. Of course, the other problem is I think that this, like, my nudging logic removed the screen bounds. Or maybe I never actually reapplied them, but whatever. It's a little disorienting to change the direction and then move the character. Because I think what it's trying to do is like move a position that's not where the character is. I'm not even sure how that works. But I mean, it works, right? I mean, that's okay. So now we got to do something that we can change the field of view, I suppose. What do we do here? I think it's in the map scene. Is it FOV? Favi. Favio. Eye height, distance. I think the distance is actually... Do I change the distance or the field of view? Maybe distance. Hey, Donut. How are ya? How's my little dev donut doing? You grew up so fast. Look at this. I got camera nudging working. You can like see. Dad, I'm 25, please. Okay, I know. I'm just so proud of you. Good job. People gonna be like, wait, is Machi really Dev Donut's dad? I mean, I'm old enough to be your dad, so I guess that counts. That makes me feel sick to my stomach. I would have had to have you when I was 18. I'm 43. Technically, I could have had you as a kid. I've been right on the verge of making sense. But it was okay because I never had any sex in high school or anything, so it's fine. Never had that problem. Tell you what. So now we want to add zoom level. And we'll make that a on or off button, I think. What are we going to call it? How are you tonight, Donut? This is the nudge input. Maybe I'll make a zoom. We'll just bind it to a key. So if we're gonna do these keys, I guess I could do. What would I do for a zoom button? T? I don't even know if that's a key that's used for anything. We'll find out. F's in chat. Sorry. Doing great. I lost direction life again. I'm trying to stay on track. Hey, you know, son, sometimes you just got to figure things out. You know, you're 25. You got your whole life ahead of you. I'm older than you, so from now on, I will tell you, you have to respect your elders. Well, you are an in-charge person, Mendoza. The biggest thing I want to figure out is what will be my source of income for the rest of my life. Well, that's not, I mean, the thing is, don't sweat the small stuff, okay? I'm sorry, so awful. Oh, that's all you got to figure out is their source of income for the rest of your life. Just don't stress so much about. What was I doing at 25? I don't think I'd even started my career. Granted, I got out of the military when I was 22. And I went to college. So yeah, I hadn't even gotten my full career stuff. And I remember thinking the same thing. What am I going to do for money and stuff? It wasn't until I was 26, I think, that I actually started at a... 26? 2006? I started at an agency. Then I started making money for real. and I liked it. Making money was nice. I liked having money. It was good for my life. Money's good. Okay, so now I'm gonna tell this to add a zoom. I added a zoom input. This is just off or on. I use update logic so that when the zoom key is pressed, it will do a similar thing for a zoom out. Yeah, kids tend to take a lot more effort to manage. But I think there's also this sort of, depending on your view of it, having kids can also teach you how to deal with a lot of. I remember how self-righteous I was pre-kids about how people treat kids. And now that I have kids, I'm like, well, no wonder some parents are just like, they fly off the handle. Kids are a little difficult sometimes. I was going to use a word, but I'm not going to use that word. But man, kids are a thing. They are. They are such a thing. For real, for real. I don't want a zoom level. I just want a zoom amount, right? So we're going to do... Now, in this case, I don't think I want to do at the get look at target. I don't think I do. I want to do it like in here. So we're going to call it this.zoom of distance. Can't do plus equals though, I don't think. If I did plus equals, it would constantly add to it. Okay. So let's see, where does this dot disk get used? Normal. Okay, so cam distance equals this dot dist plus camera zoom. So that should give us what we want. We have a zoom level. It's lerping. We'll make the max zoom level be something a little bit more. The zoom max will be like 10. And then camera nudge max, let's make that 2 and see what happens. UCAR engine, is that something you guys made? Nope. That's Smile Game Builder's engine. I have massively bastardized their engine. And I'm still daydreaming about the day that I can do full-time game dev and essentially go rebuild, or go build my own engine in a different engine. I mean, I might still stick with Unity. I don't love Unity's licensing decisions, but Godot is not mature enough for doing consoles, and I don't really like Unreal. It's just I couldn't get into it. Yeah, UCAR engine is RPG is Smile Game Builder. It's their underlying engine, and it worked fine. I have the same dream. I mean, I've learned so much about engine development from this stuff. Hey, sexy face, how are ya? Sexy Vault face. Notice, White Vault is a game dev. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know, Wi-Fi. Look at that. Zoom. What do you guys think? We have a zoom out and we have a nudge. So if people are not feeling like they like the aspect, this is what we can provide them. We're never intending for the zoom to be perfect, but we give them an opportunity where they can get a nudge. Literally, I mean, like, what I'm amazed about is in the last couple weeks, you want to zoom closer? No, there's not a closer. This is the angle. Why do you want to go closer? What do you want from me? Donut? Blood? Ah, jeez. There's no pleasing you people. No, there's not going to be a closer. I'm sorry. Not going to happen. Not going to do it. I mean, let's go full ham on this now. So we have zoom controls. How far can we go? Let's make this like 10, and we'll make this like 30. Something absurd. Just for funsies. I'll probably make something where we can control it a little bit. Wi-Fi, it's like the gang is all here. It's like old times. I don't feel as peppy as I used to be. I used to be like, I'm so peppy. Look at me. I'm streaming. I'm a streamer. Here I go. I watched Sympathy. So you rated Sympathy, and I had watched her for a bit playing Celeste. I was like, maybe I should stop working on dev on stream and play games. You should just play Celeste. Trying to get back into game dev. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Tell me about it. Remember those days when we used to do game dev? Oof. All right. Oh wow, that zoom is so zoomed, it like makes the water white. That's crazy. She claimed it was research though. I love it. Trying to understand. Oh yeah, Sympathy was researching. She was researching it, and then she got just hooked into it. I love it. Trying to understand arrays now. Arrays are easy. So it's interesting that the nudge is not going any further from a max perspective, even though I changed it to something absurd. Well, there you go, folks. I have proved that we can nudge the camera. That is another like tick mark off the plate of updates that amazingly got done on a stream in which I mostly bitched about the Marines. Can you believe it? I can't. Maximum nudging. What if I like made it 100 or something? Will it do that? Will it go there? I think 15 will be okay. A raise, or when you want to give money, do you give more money at work? A raise. Yeah, I want a raise. Why was Einstein kicked out of the kitchen? Because of his incessant experiments on the effect of gravity on time. Time? Something like a Raise was a video store in my hometown. So it was called Raise. Raise Family Video or something like that. Remember video stores? Oh, wait. Some people never grew up with video stores. They might have heard about Blockbuster, though. So our developer who does contract work was working on this, And he was complaining that every time he wanted to do fishing stuff, he had to go from farther away. And it's because I have this auto versus manual switch. And now I'm realizing maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe it just needs to be a continuous line. Like historical, you manually save there. It'll just like auto save, manual save. That one is even relatively funny. We had a video, okay? Yeah, it's like we had a place called Blockbuster and All the Best Video. All the Best Video. I even remember the music. Raise is the place where all the fun begins. They paid for TV ads. Can you believe that? Okay, so something with the nudge is wrong. The nudging is not going to go any further than the direction. I kind of love that it won't go any further. It's probably something to do with the way the screen lock works, but that's fine. I think 10 was better. I don't like the fact that this is like changing color. It's fine. Listen, folks. We did something tonight. And I can actually try to do one more thing. I think this is one of those cases where I'm like, oh, I got one thing done. I'm going to try another thing, and it just doesn't happen. But one other thing our developer was like, hey, wouldn't it be good if we could just go straight to a save? So I'm going to try that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make better choices in life. Maybe what I should do... Okay, but you have to realize how amazing it is that I got the camera nudge working, okay? Just take a moment and bask in my awesomeness. Just kidding. The funny part is, like, some of these things I'm solving, people are like, yeah, you just do it. It's just what you do in game dev. You just make that function work. I'm like, yeah, I know. It should be easy. It's not always easy. Because I'm working through an existing system. My life is built on things that just are about making my life harder. Always about making my life harder. How am I going to do this save file thing? That's the question. I think what I could do is not work so hard at this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the files in all the places. Which would mean I need to do... equals new list string. Atlas. So for your next game, will you be using assembly? Yes. I decided assembly is probably the best way to go. It'll be fast, right? I heard. I just tend to do things that make my life harder for no reason. It's like I need challenge. I'm still convinced. I don't know how you learn to be happy without having some kind of struggle or sadness. Like if you don't know how can you have a relief without some kind of pain or struggle? Like yin and yang, friends. Let's philosophize. Go. We live in an entropic, a universe of entropy. So you have to fight against entropy all the time. That's how things grow. They grow out of entropy. Chaos theory, friends. Look it up. Okay. Save system. Save folder name. Where does this get used? Don't really want system. Okay, so what I'm going to do is not use any of that garbage. Can I get application data path? Okay. So then we're going to do for each. Come on. I don't want to do save bad. I'm going to do what is this? Why? What? No. That. I want that. There you go. Data path character. There we go. Internationalization behavior. Does that make it so you can translate things? So translate much behaviors. Save path. And then we're going to do all the manual files and all the save files. Right? So and then I guess I'm going to have to make another stupid method. Private. Yep, files. Can we not make? I guess it's a string, right? If directory exists path, file entries equals that. No, we'll just. Something's wrong with I keep losing my keyboard. I don't think Mozzie would program a game in ARM assembly. He's too risk averse. Good? It's good? Yeah, I like it. I don't know why I put auto path. I literally typed manual. So for each character, we're going to. How do I want to do this? I really only care about the names of the files. So I need to like rep private string get file title. We're gonna do path character and then type. Right? I'm just gonna make a list of files that have naming conventions, basically. The title is going to be, we get the file name. Let's go look at what these found. I did say in my like stream description that I would be doing more than just camera nudges. Where is it? App data. There we go. Is it local low? I think it's local low. Local low. Get low. Get low. Get low. Okay. So then the name of the files are. So this is the example of the file names. So what we're going to do is we'll split it. We'll get the date. We don't care about, I guess it actually says whether it's an autosave. So maybe I don't even need to do that. I don't think I need to do that. I think what I'll do is I'll just combine them all. So what I'll do is I'll do all files equals new equals manual files. Wait, can you not concat? And then we'll do, yes, we're going to do a for each and a for each. Big O n squared, baby. Let's do it. I'm all about that n squared, if you know what I mean. Value, do we want to do save file data? No, we're going to do value drop down list string. We only need the file name, file path, right? So save files equals new value drop down list. And then for each file, we'll do var file parts equals split. And we'll split it by the, oh no. I guess I could even just give, no, we'll split it by the underscore, okay. And then we'll do it's kind of weird to make this be a list, but then I can do file parts dot insert 0 character. I could have probably had ChatGPT do this for me, but I want to prove that I can code crappy, lame boilerplate code that doesn't matter, because that's my choice. Title equals put a space between them, and then we do, what did I just do there? Join. Why can't I join it by a string? I have to do it as a character. What the flip? Why does it not have a join? Not null. File parts is a list, isn't it? Join was a thing. Hey, Rossum Tech, how are ya? How have you been? How's it going out there in sunny Japan? How do I join file parts into a string with a space It seemed like it's supposed to be able to do it. Why wouldn't it be able to do it? I don't get it. Oh, it's string not join. I thought I could do it on the actual list. Okay, whatever. And then save files. I got camera nudging to work. Did I leave it running? I didn't leave it running. Here, I'll show you. Value equals this was something that people have asked for a while because they didn't like the tight screen angle. Of course, the first thing Dev Donut says is you should zoom in. We got a zoom out capability. Apparently I never recompiled because it's still going too far out. And we have left and right camera nudges. I think the distance could maybe go a little bit farther, but now if the player wants to see like to the left or right or up and around, they'll be able to do that. I don't know why you would want to zoom in, because zoom in is like that's making the camera angle tighter. I could maybe make the zoom out also include messing with the field of view, but I think this is good for now. It's such a simple thing too, like Unity. I'm sure someone making the game without using this engine underneath it would have been much easier. And it honestly didn't take me that long to do either, but you know, it took me longer just to learn where I can make the change. So now we have the ability to zoom and change the camera angle or the camera nudge so that you could like see a little further. And what I'll probably do is like figure out how to make it go slightly further up or down or whatever. But getting that part working was what was important. Not being perfectly the right distance yet. Okay, so if I did this right, what I should be able to do now with this get files value drop down, save file data. This is going to be instead, it's going to be a string. This is going to be the string of the data. So the final thing I was trying to work on before I wrapped up tonight is we have one contractor doing work, and he's working on the fishing mini game. And he said it sure would be nice if there was a way to get into the game faster without going through the whole menu and stuff. And so I'm trying to make a shortcut in our debug tool where you can just say, yeah, load this file when I start the game. Which is just really important as the developer to get right in there, because it already takes long enough for the recompile to happen. And it always goes slower on my recompile when I've been working on story, because the graphs have so much serialization. Okay, so fast load. Oh, that's cute. Atlas_C. Maybe not how I want it to appear. I needed to get just the file name from it. So what I need to do is oh, that's oh great, it reorganized all of my debug stuff. I don't even know where that was yet. file name equals get file name, file part equals file name dot split, file part insert. Okay, that should be better. What kind of tool is also that kind of tool is really useful for your trailer editor? Yeah, like Jacob, who always has to log in to different saves. Yeah, I know. You know, there's an interesting balance when you're the only person working on a project of working on the little small things that will make life a little easier, or working on the big things that people have been asking for and they need, or project needs to move forward. But as I've been saying, there's gonna be some I think core functionality things I still have to work on, but we're really gotten over the hump on core functionality. So now I have more time to do the little things in between working on story. The battle system still has work, and the fishing, but I don't know what any other real major pieces of functionality. There's gonna be a lot of bug fixes and tweaks and improvements, but we got all the new menus and stuff. I'm gonna probably expand the. We have a monster database, but I might have to add other databases for things like a lexicon of words and stuff. I've got to make keepable books, but that's not a major thing. That's a minor thing. So that whenever you interact with a book, I think what I'm going to make it that if you interact with a book, it becomes part of your persistent store, so that you can go back and look at any of the books that you've ever interacted with. I know how people love their lore. What was I doing? Debug manager. So now we have. Well, that's dumb. I thought I told it to split by those values. Did I rejoin them? Oh. So I think if it's just save, I guess it would be autosave. Okay, so what I need to do here is display name. I'm going to replace the word space save space with manual, and I'll replace the word autosave with auto. Yes, okay. So we know that we have the list. So I need to make one other thing, which is going to be public bool auto load this will load final. This will just go right into it. I hope. Thank you for the follow, Antic Dope. That name sounds familiar. There was one time back in the day I knew a person who went by the word dope, and they were full of antics. And this one time they came in and they're like, "Hey, I like to make jokes." And I said, "That's great. Nice to meet you." Anyway, that's my anecdote. Whoa, that's me. Hey, anecdote. Hope you're doing well. I wish I had a more creative, dumb story to tell, but That's just how I roll. Not sure if you have heard of Alterium Shift, but this is the game that I'm working on here on Steam. I'm not working on it on Steam. It's in Steam. But I'm working on some development tool stuff now. Just got camera nudging working. I'm feeling pretty chuffed about that. Now I'm working on stupid, simple things. If I click on auto load save file and I pick a save, I really should also do this by date, I think. Like each of the save, I need to sort it by the date. Because it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Let's see, 05. Was it 04? It must have been 04. Here. Like here are my Atlas saves. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do this by I'm going to sort it. Otherwise it's not gonna make any sense. So 04, 28, 28. This one maybe? I don't even know. I also got to filter out all the date ones from there too. Okay. So a couple things we need to do. We need to get rid of the any file that is not a just .dat file, which I have in my save system. Is it my save system? Save data manager. Been following Dev for a while. Not sure why I wasn't following, to be honest. It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Anecdote. I thought, like, I swear that I'd seen your name before somewhere, but it says first time chat, so maybe not. Maybe your name should be Antic Deja Vu. That was dumb. I'm sorry. I apologize for myself. Get saved data. Okay, this is what we want to do. So we're going to use this logic here. I mean, it's not like my streaming is the most... I'm not being self-deprecating. It's not like what I'm working on is always the most exciting thing. Right? Like, the life of development isn't the most glamorous. You rated me before years ago. Okay. I knew your name looked familiar somehow. So I'm glad that it was that my brain actually remembered and I wasn't just making that crap up. Because if I was, I would have been really sad. Did I use a sort in here? No, it must be in the... Right here? Where did I sort this crap? In the save system? No. Maybe I didn't sort it. Did I not sort it? Usually lurking while doing pixel art. Did you want to share any of your pixel art? Am I following you, Anecdote? Maybe you unfollowed me ages ago. You're like, this guy's a chump. Can't believe him. Silly Motzi. Oh, I think I saw you streaming the other day. 'Cause I remember, when did you stream last? Let's see. No, maybe not. Maybe you just look familiar. When did I raid you? That's crazy. I swear I did some sort of sort. Some sort. Let's see. I guess I could just sort it. How did I not do that in this? All right, well, I'm going to just write some code in here. In the place after I filtered my all files, I then like to sort share the date. Haven't seen you in ages. Took a long break from Twitch, but game dev friends brought me back. Are you? I can't remember. Do you just do pixel art, or do you also do game dev? Well, what I mean is like development, not just pixel art. Because you can be a pixel artist that does game dev, right? They're not mutually exclusive. All right. Pixar for games, cool. Do you have any games you're working on right now that you want to share, or anything you'd like to share, or do you have feelings, or any sort of anecdote, or antelopes, or anti-hopes? I don't know where my brain's going tonight. I was much more tired earlier. Thankfully, I had like a smidgen of caffeine, so it kind of woke me up a bit. The inventor of Velcro has died. RIP. It's kind of funny. Okay, so now they're STS files. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna move my brain on from saying stupid things, because my life is not all about stupid things. It's only partially about it. A combat at War of Valena. Oh, okay. Wow, you're doing so many things. Yes, War of Valena. So you and God, why is his name failing me? Don't tell me. I just rated him. Like, oh, my brain's not working. I knew I've seen you in chats though, so now this makes a whole lot more sense. Yeah, I think you said hi or something when I rated Griffin Blade 77. I don't know why my memory. I gotta keep working on it. And then that one person who does Grandma Don't Click That. Some streamer that's pretty cool. But people are always simping on her stream for some reason. So you're one of the devs. You've outed yourself because Sympathy was like, I'm working with these devs, but I'm not going to tell you who they are. They can reveal themselves, but I'm not going to reveal them. That's cool. That's really cool. Grandma Don't Click That looks fun as well. All you guys working on so many cool things. Okay, we're gonna do. Oh, it's public, so I don't really want to make it public, but we're gonna make it private. I don't even know why I would do that. Do I want to set it? No, I'll just get it. Something's happening with my, like, for some reason my focus gets lost. Oh no, I'm in trouble now. I think Sympathy was pretty clear that she didn't want to out other people. I don't think she minded if you did it yourself. I'm pretty sure. She just didn't want to, like, name people unless they want to name themselves, maybe? The team for the game is so good. Great vibes in the team meeting so far. That's awesome. And that's great that Sympathy can put together a team like that. I was just like, I've been trying to do that a little bit, but it's a lot. It's hard. It's challenging. Especially a project of our size. Not a company of our size, but like the size of the project and the scope and all the things. Like adding a developer would be really painful because there's so much. There's just so much code. And even I'm still figuring out how the crap works. So it's got, it's gotta be nice that you guys have your little projects, not little, but your projects that you guys can be working on together like this, with a full team. Because it's me and Jacob primarily. That's it. We should, try to branch out, but it costs money. One of those things that we don't necessarily always have. Here's a question. I think what I could do. I think I could do this. If we're gonna do here. Put a compiler directive in there. And then if SGB instant. No. Do I? It's not static. I don't use it statically, do I? No. So how do I get access to it? Oh, I do have instance. I didn't make it public though. Did I set the instance somewhere? To be honest, I don't think you need other people. You two are killing it as is. But that's why I thought you were saying is as is. Killing it on AS. Well, hey, Game Dev Onion. Wow, where are all you people coming from? You're just coming out of the blue after so many years. I feel like we're back together again. Thank you, Anecdote. I think that it's more about like being able to accelerate some things, but also, right, it's hard to accelerate things because adding people to a team doesn't always make it faster. But it would be nice if we could accelerate some things. We have hopes and dreams. Okay, so if auto is set, then what I want to do is we've initialized the data. How am I going to do this? I have the name of the file. Let's see here. So once we've initialized this, we have save data. Save folder name. What I think I could do. Your face is an initializer. Pixel. I feel like there's an initial slowdown, and then with the right person, it gets faster. It's a huge leap to add another person. Yeah, and we have a developer that would do a lot of one-off stuff. And he would even say, he's like, I'm not really a developer. Like, he is a coder, but he's best with things like why is the word escaping me? The code that does things on other things, that manipulates visuals. Why is my brain not working? Now my brain, yeah, shader. There we go. Shaders. My brain wouldn't connect. And like he actually did the CRT shader and everything. And the effect for like the shift, and he's done a lot of stuff for us. But I've been slowly like giving him other things. Like, you know what? I need this other work. I'll just pay you. You've worked with the system enough. Can you just do this? Yeah, he's been doing the WYSIWYGs. What you see is what you get, baby. Okay, so if this is right, what we'll do is we will get. We have to also make sure that the save file is not null. Save file data does not equal null. So it has to be a value, and then we're going to say var save file parts equals. We'll split it by a space. And then character name equal and file name equals file parts 2. And then if save data manager. See, like I keep losing focus for some reason. Save. Apparently, Ryder has the same level of ADD that I have. Can I not get access to the save data? Vim Lark. Am I right? One of my, my moderators all have a theme on this channel. And it's that they don't do anything. Their whole job is not to do anything. That's it.
I got so good at using the keyboard with my hands, I practiced and became an expert with my feet. I'm a pro toe typer. Motzi.
Wah, wah, wah.
Enjoy your horn of shame.
It's still my favorite moment. That I had such a great idea for a joke, and the delivery was just spot on. That was so it was so amazing because I was like, okay, I want to get him to say one of my jokes so I could try and get a video of him. And he didn't know it was coming. And he just, boom, he got it. That was a first take, No, it was live on stream. Vimlark, he just knows, they just know how to perform. Okay, so we get the save data. So now we're going to try and get... So we're going to do what? Save file data dot... What is... Do I have a save date map name? Do I not have the actual name of the file? File type? Oh, because it has the data in it. So I don't actually put the file name in here. Maybe I should though. Formatted date is a string. Save date, map name. Okay, so I'll probably have to put the file name in here, I guess. I think private set is implied. The perfect clip doesn't exist. The perfect clip of Vimlark being amazing. Do we provide the file name in here? File type, theme data manager. We don't. Get save file. I mean, I think I have the file name here somewhere. I do. So I guess I have to pass it in. Hey, stuff. Oh, I don't get business stuff. I just get party stuff. Business stuff was terrorizing the Twitter today. I'm not Twitter. Not the Twitter. The Twitch. Business stuff was getting a little twitchy today. So you said you were in the office? Like in the office? Like you went physically into the office? Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. How was it? How many people were there? Was it a party? Let's see. Chunks. Let's read our chunks. Reader.close. Signature. Save date. Initialize. Get save file date. Byte stream. For each file. So it's just called file. Alright, let's see if this works. So that worked. It was a party. Oh, depressing. Okay, I went backwards. Like a heathen, if I'm honest. Depressing. It was a party. How many people were there? I mean, turnover rate in game dev. Brr. That's gotta be hard. There's gotta be a lot of it. That's all I'm saying. Oops. What is that? Pretty slow for 4 years. Now it's fast. Are there only 12 people left in the company, or were there only 12 people there? Or both? Why not both? Let's see. How do we load? That starting character. On save slot submitted. Form load. If title screen. So I think I want to do. I don't want to do that. On save slot submitted. I'm just gonna steal this crap here. I don't know if preload is the best place for this to happen, but we're gonna try it. See what happens. Oh, it's a save slot view. Huh. So I don't want to do it. Why am I using views instead of the actual fucking data? Now I'm gonna just hack the crap out of this. Hack the planet! There's many more in the company, okay? Does Unity allow for builds for Windows on ARM yet, or will it not be something you worry about? I'm pretty sure the leg version is already working, right? I haven't seen how they're doing with the foot version though of the builds. If they got the leg version working, the arm probably should be working, right? But what do I know? You know. Fade screen and load. I don't care anything about this. Okay, well let's just see if we can break stuff. Let's see if this will break things. Okay. Because whatever. I don't know. Is there, I mean, I would Google the question. I don't follow that. What, are there a lot of computers that using ARM processors? ARM works closely with Unity, acting as a champion for optimal performance. I mean, they probably already have to do ARM processors for like other devices. Yes, whatever I do will break things. I've come to accept that in life. Breaking hearts, breaking minds, breaking the internet. Well, on the plus side, nothing broke. But also, nothing worked. Did I not compile? I think what I should also do here is... What does initialize get called? Because preload happens before the object is active. So maybe what I need to do here is, instead of doing it inside of this garbage, do it inside the initialize? Oh, the object isn't active though. I really can't put it in here. It's gotta be in the title screen. I don't even know where this starts at. I think it's... This is where everything happens. Actually, I could probably... I think what I could do is... do this, and we can say... Which you'll never be able to go back to the menu in this case. Well, I mean, you will, but I have to fix some things. Yes, I'm in Hackintosh mode right now. Hackin' Mots. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to cheat and not even bother making things fade. So fade out for load. We'll see what happens. Let's see how broken this will get. Now it's 11, okay. I always have these moments where I'm like, oh, I'll just try to do a little thing. Apparently there is a window on ARM build of Unity available. See? I knew that was solved. Perfect. Unity is the best product ever. Still annoyed about their licensing rules. Well, I mean, I don't know if I would switch to a different tool, though, out of the current available options. All right, break, 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 break. On the plus side, didn't break. On the negative side, just didn't work. Give me something dumb. Not interested in Godot? Nope. Not at all. That's not true. I am interested in Godot, but I think until it is consistently supported for other platforms, I wouldn't try it. I mean, I might try to use it for something else down the road, but like it is primarily for PC development, right? As in computers. I don't even know how they would do it for console, because there's not like a kit designed for Godot on consoles consistently. That's where my problem would come in, is I would always want to make games with the assumption that you'd want to put them on console again at some point. If I'd want a product, I would want something that would be able to do that if necessary. Where's my bug? Save file parts. Okay, we have parts. Good. I like having parts. Oh, bollocks. Oh, right, because it's the freaking data. Oh. I don't really want the file path, do I? Not with the way I wrote this. See, I knew it was going to be something dumb. Always something dumb. So instead, what I should do is in my debug manager, I'll just use the same thing. So I don't even need the file name there, whatever. I think they have console support now. I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, I can Google it. Godot console support. Currently, the only console they support is Steam Deck. One must be licensed its company. So there's a fundamental problem with how they're structured. So you'd have to port it. There's a licensing issue too. And the thing is, like, wait, what? Should I have been making absolute claims? I'm confused. Is that how I should be doing it? I don't understand. Yeah, Steam Deck is just a Linux computer in a box. Okay, so one thing is really cool is that nothing worked like I thought it was going to. Perfect. That's what I wanted to say. It almost looks like it tried. Like it actually tried to load the file and it didn't work or something. Let's see. But maybe the future is going to be that way, right? Maybe all the handhelds or other consoles are just going to become PCs and they're going to stop being so proprietary weird. Who knows? It could happen. The way console companies treat their products, it's insane. It's so backwards from what I'm used to in the, software space. Okay, so do we get the value? Yes or no? So we get the save slot data. And then we get the save file data, so it's there. Okay. If instance. Oh, damn. So just move this here. It's weird that it still loaded the video though on the screen. Yeah, it did. It loaded the map. It did. So it did technically work. W4 Games is aiming for later this year. There are already several other middleware companies providing console support. Basically, there are already some options, but by the time you actually had a game ready for release, I probably didn't have a much easier one. Do you mean for Godot? A solution to be able to port your games easily to various platforms? Yeah. Well, yeah, by the time I work on a project in Godot that might get released, I'm sure there'll be options. I'm not opposed to Godot or learning it. I don't know if it's going to be like, ultimately, I don't know if it's going to make everything better, because very likely by the time I could or would use Godot, it'll have the same problems as Unity does and stuff, right? Like at some point it'll get big to a point where it's trying to do all these things and then people will start complaining about it and end up back in Unity or something. Okay, so that didn't work. Why did that not work? Weirdly, it worked before. Like what? When I had the debugger on, it seemed to have worked. Again. Maybe it's a timing thing? W4 Games was founded by some of the Godot project leaders specifically for this purpose. I think it's cool. Again, I really don't have anything against Godot. I do like to make fun of things that people take seriously. What the fuck is just happening here? What? Is there a bug? I did not say step into this nonsense tonight. This is step over. Why is it stuck here? Oh, I've somehow got stuck in this. We have save file data. We have a file name. Okay. Is it this maybe? What does this do? Maybe it's because this gets called. Save data manager load. Okay, so it's getting called. So that's good. There's something else I have to fix, but it's getting called. There's Summiton. So right now, there is a scene. There's nothing in it, though. It's missing some vital pieces. I'm going to have to debug that a little bit. As you can see, there's no one there. There's no tables. I'll figure that out. It's not super important, but clearly there's some issue with the loading. I've got a timing of the loading I got to figure out, which is fine. I can play with that tomorrow. I don't really care. As long as I've gotten to this point, it's fine. I wasn't supposed to see it this late. I just got so excited about getting camera nudging working. Well, you nudge some, you nudge some. I was just trying to bust a nudge today. Bust a nudge, bust a nudge. I don't know what that means. Where should we go today, folks? We could go see Adam C. Eunice, although he's got lots of people. Coding with Strangers. Almighty Game Dev. I've been doing Jitspo a lot. Adam's like a profesh. Coding with Strangers is a nice person. He's a cool dude. You go find a stranger to code with? Okay. Didn't hear any complaints there, so we'll go find a stranger. Stranger than coders. All right. Well, I hope you all have a lovely rest of your week. I will be back on Saturday, and I'll find another small thing to work on. Maybe I'll do books, since I got this camera nudging nonsense working. Who knows? It'll be a party. We're going to just keep chipping away at all the little things that I've got to go fix later. Thanks for stopping in, Anecdote. Thanks all for hanging out tonight. So again, I'll just keep working on this, in between working on story. I'll just do these little bits as we go. There is a reason why we haven't done a beta launch. I'll explain more of it later, but we're on a little bit of a pause on that. And, just know that we're continuing to work on things. So don't worry about that yet, but we'll have more updates in the future. Y'all have a lovely night. Bye.